Hey, yo, what it is? It's the one and only Mr. City Bowls, your Hank. Little PSA. Little PSA. If you find stuff at the bowling alley, hand it into the front desk. So I got home and realized this morning I left my tripod at the bowling alley, called them up. They're like, yeah, we got it. Somebody handed it in. It's like, oh, snap. Awesome. The only reason why I'm saying that is because at the same bowling alley the one night, I had just bought a Hammer suede chamois, leather chamois to wipe your ball off with, and like a little rosin bag that my mom gave me for Christmas. And it came in a two pack, so they were in like a little pouch. So when I get done, I usually have a routine where I kind of pick everything up and I put it all back and I do all this and blah, blah, blah. And then right before I like to go pay and then come back and get all my shit. And then I do like one more kind of like look-see, make sure everything's good. Well, I must not have did that night, even though I swear I grabbed it all. I went back the next day for my daughter's practice. Asked the front desk, hey, you guys got lost and found? He's like, yeah. I tell him, no, nothing. Nobody handed in. And what's funny is like the couple next to me, well, that night I kind of got a little frustrated. And that's the problem, guys. Like, if you get frustrated, stop and take a minute and like sit down and like shut up. Like, just sit, take a breather. I am guilty of this all the time, where I get a little fucking frustrated. I get a little in my own head. And then I start doing weird shit. I start doing stuff out of the norm. I make mistakes, So I had started bowling and it was busy. And they were like, yeah, we have lanes available. Come on down. So I show up. The place is crawling, right? So I set up on a lane. The people to my left, there's like 4 dudes, like in their 20s or something. Kind of just fucking around, whatever. It was like Friday before, like their rockin' bowl starts like around 10, and this was like 8 o'clock. So sometimes it's like hit and miss. Sometimes, you go and there's like nobody there. Other times you go and it's hopping. Well, this is downtown in the city I live in, and it was hopping. So I pulled, I'm like, fuck, they're gonna be full. Like, so I called them in the parking lot, and I'm like, you guys sure? Yeah. He's like, yeah, we have lanes open. You're fine. I'm like, all right. So I come in. Now my other house where I do league, you can pull in that parking lot. There won't be anywhere to park, and the lanes will be empty because like their bar and food is really good, and they have a massive pool and dart league that is always going on. And he actually bought the business that was attached to his business and opened up more pool tables and darts. So, you can't really judge their parking lot. This place is just a bowling alley. So I start, no big deal. These guys are kind of, they're kind of jerk-offs. Like, the one guy, I actually, I got into my slide and my kick leg came out, and I felt like I was going to trip him up like it was Mortal Kombat. Like, he was getting that close to me. And there was a couple times he almost, walked into me, and I'm like, okay. Like, whatever. So then a couple people show up to my right, which is, the lane that you share, and I'm like, all right, I'm thinking a couple people, me, whatever, and they kind of plant down. And when I had showed up, there was like 13 balls in the fucking ball return. So I'm like, hey, none of these are mine, just these 2, get rid of them, whatever, I'm not using them. They proceed to put all their shit down on all the seats. So I had like the one little end seat, and I wasn't really sitting. Well, then their friends show up. There's 6 of them. So this place literally here I am by myself, and every time I go, I'm practicing, I'm by myself, I'm, whatever. This place puts 6 people on one lane. On one lane, like one, not sharing the 2, not like you get 17 and 18. They put 6 people. There were so many people sitting there that I couldn't sit, like, at the end of the lane, and they have like these wraparound chairs that kind of wrap, they filled like all of them. So So I'm like, what? So I'm like bowling, and then I'm just standing next to the control center, and I'm bowling, and like I'm getting frustrated because at the same time I was bowling with no brace on, and I was trying to kind of like get reps in with that and figure that out, and then I put my brace on, and I was bowling like okay, and you know, I finally got to the point I'm like, oh fuck this, like it's just I don't mind bowling when the place is busy and hopping and everything else. When you're the only person there who like is into bowling and everybody else is just there to party, you know, it's the kind of way, like the one girl's boyfriend kept putting it in the gutter, and then every time she threw a shot, I felt so bad for the girl. He's like critiquing her. He's like, oh babe, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And you can see she's getting frustrated. I want to say to him, dude, you can't even get it down the fucking lane. You think hitting the pins at 25 miles an hour is like something special, like, you know. But meanwhile, he's throwing the ball, and it's like he's guttering it. It's, you know, but then every time this poor girl bowls, he's like, nah, babe, you don't understand. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta put your this, you gotta put your that. I'm like, dude, like, this is why people like don't get into sports and shit, because like people like that. Whoa, I got a little hey. So needless to say, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I pick up all my shit, and I swear I picked it up, but I think what I did was I went to go put it in my bag, and then I set it down on the chair, and then I was getting so fucking frustrated, and I go and I left, and then the next time I go to bowl, I don't have my chamois, and I don't have my rosin bag, and luckily I have 2 rosin bags, and because I like to start out with the rosin, because a lot of times when I start, my thumb feels sticky. And I'll use that until it feels slick, and then I try to stay away from it, because then I actually get to where it's like too much. I'm kind of a creature of habit. I like to do like a setup. Typically I'll shoot, I'll grab my rosin, I'll fluff it a little, and then I like to put my hand in front of the dryer. You know, I might pick up my ball and wipe it off. I might not, depending on if I just did or how it feels. Excuse me. And then I'll get up and I'll set up for my shot if I'm available, if the lane's available. But yeah, I went up and I'm like, hey, did anybody turn in a black hammer chamois and this? And no, he didn't. So what I thought was also shitty was I had it sitting on the control panel, and the one dude came up to me, and he was nice. Like he didn't come across like, you know, like doper, you know, I'm trying to rob you kind of vibe. He was like, hey, I'm sorry, can I ask you a genuine question? And I'm like, yeah, man, what's up? And he goes, that, and he points at, he goes, what's that for? And I'm like, oh, it's, you know, it's a, you know, it's a rosin bag. It's like a powder. I go, it keeps, you know, dries up the sweat on your hand, and it, you know, makes it so your thumb doesn't get stuck and stuff, you know. And he like genuinely seemed like, oh, all right, okay, yeah. He's like, cause I've seen them, but I had no idea what they were. So cool, learning experience. So then I'm thinking like, so if this motherfucker seen that I left this shit here and then proceeded to take it, like that's pretty shitty. But I mean, I guess the main thing is like this, like if you're out, whether it's bowling, golfing, you know, any kind of sport like that where somebody can leave some equipment behind, because I've been that guy too that left, you know, my favorite A-wedge on the backside of fucking, you know, 6 because I set it down to putt. Turn that shit in. Like, the stuff isn't cheap. But so the one saving grace on it though is that I went to my PSO, and I had just bought the week before, and I wanted to get a 3-bag tote, and I was like, what can you take off on this tote? And he was like, well, how about I give you a chamois? Because I told him that somebody took my, you know, I lost my chamois and somebody took it. So I bought the bag and he gave me a tote. But I mean, they're like $20, you know, them things. But, so I mean, silver linings, you know, and then he took some money off on a backpack, and I got it back. You know, the guy gets me to spend money. Like it's no problem. But now I'm in the process of selling my old bag, so I'm going to recoup some of that. But yeah, that's really just the moral of this little short today, is if you're doing any kind of sport and you find equipment, turn it in with the higher authorities. Turn it in with somebody, you know, up front, especially a bowling alley. Bring it to the front desk, you know, because a lot of times people aren't in the right headspace. And that's really the big thing, is that if you're out bowling today, whenever, and you're bowling shitty, take a step back, reset. You know, today I kind of did it practicing when I upload that video. You know, there was at one point I shot a bit, and I was like, ugh, I go, that was bad. I go, that was a bad ball. I go, I go, I don't want to be doing that. Or, I make a comment like that. And then I immediately was kind of just like, it is what it is. But it's no big deal. Because it's not. To me, that translates really well because I golfed a lot. And to me, that was golf. Your biggest enemy when you're golfing isn't the ball. It's not the clubs. It's you. Your equipment doesn't change. The ball's the same size. Your club is the same club you used last week. Yeah, maybe the conditions are slightly different. When you bowl, the oil might be different. The lane conditions might be different. But ultimately, it's you. It's your head. It's your precision. It's your execution in the matter. You gotta step back and reset. And I don't care if you average 220 or if you average 90. It's the same damn thing. And I don't need to be a scratch bowler to teach everybody this lesson. Step back, reset, and move forward. Every frame is a new frame. Because this is what happens. You end up coming back to pick up your shit. Because you were too much of a dink to make sure you packed all the stuff that you worked hard and paid for. So, that's today's PSA. From the one and only, ya boy, Mr. City Bowls. This is Hank. Catch you next time.